I just replaced the voltage regulator in this ML320. It's located right here on the back of the alternator, in behind this black plastic cover. And what we've learned with these particular engines, there's no way to replace this regulator without removing the alternator from the bracket. And that's kind of a pain. I mean, some of the older cars you can get back here and get the regulator off and get the new one on, but not so with the M112 and M113 engines, and that covers a lot of engines. Now, I've already done a video on how to replace this voltage regulator. It's available as a on-demand video when you purchase a regulator from my website. But I just wanted to share with you what this looks like at 82,000 miles. Now, this has got some more life to it. See that? But the owner wanted to go ahead and replace it now because in no way you're going to know the history, even at 82,000 miles. I've seen these wear out at 85,000 miles. More often than not, it's 100 to 120. But if you drive in a dusty climate, these brushes will wear down faster. So just keep that in mind. If you're in a rainy climate like the Northwest, you don't get a lot of dust into the alternator, these brushes are going to last quite a bit longer. But this is something you want to change as a preventative measure, because this will leave you stranded. If this fails and you're in the open road, you're going to lose battery power and your engine's going to quit, and it could quit going down the freeway. So don't neglect your voltage regulator. Just keep in mind that if you're going to replace it on one of these ML engines like this ML320, you're going to have to remove the alternator from the engine and get it up on the bench. And we ran into that same problem again that you saw in my previous video on getting these alternators on and off. There's a bushing in here that sticks out. And trying to get this alternator, you can get it off, but when you have to try to get it back on and get it lined up so these bolts will go in and thread properly without cross-threading, you need to take this bushing in here and push it forward. And then you put the alternator on, and then you tighten the bolts down, and that's going to drive the bushing back into the housing here on this part of the alternator. You can make a little press tool like we did here, just using a bolt and some spacers and washers to put this on here when the alternator's off, and just crank that bushing out this way. And then go ahead and reinstall the alternator and put the bolts in and tighten these down. That'll force the bushing back in. And I tell you, by taking the time to move this bushing out, you can save maybe an hour of frustration trying to replace one of these alternators here.